Hey everybody, this is Jake Magee from Indie Game Insider. I'm at PAX Prime 2013 with Guillaume, the creative director of Contrast from Compulsion. Guillaume, why don't you tell me a little bit about this game for our viewers?
Of course. Well, I was very inspired by Pan's Labyrinth at the beginning for the game. So you play the role of Dawn, who is the imaginary friend of a little girl, and you help her cope with or resolve family issues. So it's not your typical game. It's a mix of film noir, 1940s film noir with 1920s burlesque era, and like all good imaginary characters, you have special powers. So in contrast, you kind of run around in 3D like you would in Tomb Raider, but at any point in time, you can literally go up to any lit wall surface and become your shadow and start walking on the shadow lines as if they were solid. So that's basically the USP of the game.
Your mechanic of switching between 3D and 2D into the shadow world could have worked on in any setting. What made you choose to go with this noir type setting?
Personal taste, but also traditionally film noirs used shadows as a photography method to actually tell stories. So when we actually found the mechanic first, and we were looking for the right setting to kind of marry the concept together, and when we looked at the different epochs and the different styles, we felt film noir was the perfect blend for that very specific reason, that they really used shadows as a storytelling technique for it.
Tell me a little bit about what Luminaries do, and also about how Dee Dee, the girl that imagines Dawn, uses herself in platforming elements.
Sure. Well, the Luminaries are strewn out against the world, and basically they're elements that you collect in order to be able to power additional lights. So lights, in contrast, in the lighting and the shadows there in the scenes, allow you to traverse space in different ways. And Luminaries are elements that you get throughout the world that allow you to power additional lights, hence, giving you access to new areas. I think it's really what makes the game special is that the way the engine and the way the game is lit is actually informing you in the way that you can traverse space. So you can imagine in ways where if you start manipulating the lights around in the world or manipulating the shadow casters in the world, you can literally sculpt the landscape on which you're going to be traversing afterwards. Now, Dee Dee, which is very, very important, you can see her in the background here, is one of the very important characters in the game. Was inspired by Ophelia and Pan's Labyrinth, and by a number of other sources of inspiration of being the central component of the character of the game that you're trying to help out. She's your sidekick. She helps you out in the puzzles that you're resolving by moving objects or by placing yourself into positions where she's herself is casting shadows in certain ways, and in certain instances helping you cross in ways that you wouldn't have been able to cross without her. But you are in turn also helping her resolve like a higher level contextual issues, like finding out stuff about her family and her parents. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot of turns and twists that are geared around her life that you kind of help her throughout the game.
This project, I could tell right away, is very ambitious. It's got incredible level design, art. The music is all done for the game. Can you tell me a little bit about what pushed you guys to be so ambitious in your endeavors to create this game?
Sure. I mean, I've been making games for a long time. I've been making games for just over 15 years. And they're always like big, productions and big titles where we didn't have a lot of creative freedom to do the games that we wanted to make. And, for me, this was an essence of just taking the time to do something that was different, that the team and the people that are around the project could really fall in love with and take the time to iterate and do a great job at. And I think that's reflected in our respect for every discipline that it has to do to contribute to a game.
Very cool. So when can we get it, on what consoles, and for how much?
So we're going to sell it on November 15th, so on the launch of the PlayStation 4. If Sony keeps to their schedule, that should be our launch day, and we're going to be coming out on PS4, 360, PS3, and Steam, all on the same day for $15. And we're going to be selling a premium copy on Steam for $19.99. They'll have the original soundtrack that we built for the game, and a digital copy of the art book as well, with all the concept art that we built too.
Very cool. We can't wait to see it. This is Jake Magee from Indie Game Insider. Catch you guys next time.